What's up, everyone? My name is Rad, and I'm here today bringing you my guide on Tingyun.
Peace is
I'll be
above
going over
all
traces,
things.
talent, technique, Eidolons, recommended light cones, relics, and team compositions. I'm going to make all of my character guides as concise as possible, so we're looking at hopefully under 10 minutes for each one, but some might just be a tad bit over the mark. She will be level 50 at Ascension 3 for this guide. Timestamps will be listed down below in the description. Without further ado, let's drop that transition. Commencing with races. Dislodge. This is Tingyun's basic attack. It dishes out lightning damage by X amount, equivalent of her attack. Soothing Melody. This is TG's skill. Grants benediction effect to another selected party unit. This buff will increase their attack by X amount up to X amount of Tingyun's current attack. Also, when the unit with the benediction buff attacks, they will also dish out additional lightning damage equal to X amount of this unit's attack for one time. Benediction lasts for 3 turns overall. Amidst the rejoicing clouds, this is her ultimate. Rad. This is her ultimate. Upon use, it will regenerate 50 energy to a single ally, and it will increase their damage by X amount for 2 turns overall. This ultimate is a 130 energy cost, so it is rather high. Violet Sharknado. This is TG's talent. When she hits an enemy, the party unit with the benediction buff will also deal additional lightning damage equal to X amount of their attack to the same hit enemy. Gentle Breeze. This is TG's technique. You'll instantly replenish 50 energy upon use. For those wondering what technique is the performed action you do right before you go into an encounter, right before you apply the weakness to the enemy before an encounter. That's what the technique is. PC it's E, I believe. Abilities, there are 3. First, Nourished Joviality. This is the A2 unlock. TG's speed increases by 20% for 1 turn after using her skill. Second, Nell Subdual, A4 unlock. This just increases her basic attack damage by 40%. Lastly, Jubilant Passage, A6 unlock. She will immediately replenish 5 energy at the start of her turn. My recommendations for level up priorities are Soothing Melody first, Violet Sharknado second, and then Amidst the Rejoicing Clouds. You can do her normal attack if you want, but I'd rather invest those resources into her other skills earlier on, then revisit her normal attack once you unlock her bonus ability, Nell Subdual. Proceeding into Eidolons. Now, I will preface this by saying that Tingyun at base is an absolute powerhouse. You don't really at all need Eidolons in my opinion. More so, they just enhance her offensive and utility capabilities. I'll be skipping her E3 and E5 as they add levels of +1 to her basic attack, +2 to her ultimate, and E5 adds +2 to her skill and talent. E1, Windfall of Lucky Springs. After using her ultimate, the party unit with the benediction buff will gain a 20% increase in speed for 1 turn. 2, Gainfully Givenly Gains. This party unit with the benediction buff replenishes 5 energy after defeating an enemy. This effect can only be triggered once per turn. E4, Jovial Versatility. The damage multiplier given by benediction further increases by another 20%. If going for Eidolons, this is the one where I recommend stopping at. E6, Peace Brings Wealth to All. Her ultimate will now replenish 10 more energy to the unit you apply it to. Light cones. So Tingyun is of the Harmony path, so you can only use Harmony cones for her. As of now, there is a limited amount of these since HSR just released for the 5-star. I recommend, but the battle isn't over. This will increase her energy regeneration by X amount and will also replenish 1 skill point when she uses her ultimate on another party unit. You can also trigger this effect after every 2 uses her ultimate. Also, for the second half, when she uses her skill, the next party unit to perform an action will dish out X amount more damage for 1 turn. For 4 stars, I recommend Carve the Moon, Weave the Clouds. This will provide one of the following effects at the start of battle, but also when the user equipped with this is their turn as well. I know that sounds confusing, but basically when you start the battle, you begin with one of these effects, and then when the user that has this cone equipped, that effect, a new effect will take over, basically is the best way to describe it. Anyways, party unit attack will increase, or crit damage will increase, or energy regeneration will increase. The effects rotate, so every time it will be a different one since it can't be identical to the previous one. You will lose the effects if the wearer has been knocked down during combat. Next up, Dance Dance Dance. When casting her ultimate, all of the party units' actions are advanced forward by X amount. Just means you'll be able to perform their actions sooner. Think of it as almost skipping the line at the grocery store. Next up, I believe it's down here. Past and future. Upon using her skill, the next unit to perform an action will deal X amount of increased damage for 1 turn. For 3 stars, I recommend Chorus. Upon entering battle, this will increase attack of all party units by X amount. And also Meshing Cogs. Upon the wearer using attacks or getting hit, they will replenish additional energy by X amount. 3 stars are great to start off with, and they're going to last you for a bit, in my opinion. So if you do get multiple copies of these, superimpose them so you could just increase the amount of what they are able to provide from the bonuses. Relics. Now, lots of us are somewhere between early through mid game, so relics at this time are just release recommendations. When we get into later end game, they may or may not change, especially as well when future runs release too. First up, 4-piece set, Band of Sizzling Thunder. This will increase her lightning damage by 20%, and also upon using her skill, it'll increase her attack by 20% for 1 turn. Next up is going to be Musketeer of Wild Wheat, 4-piece set. Should have stated that. This will increase her attack by 12%, and her speed increases by 6%, and basic attack damage by 10%. You can also do a 2+2 combination of these if you'd like. It's also much easier and accessible, but you know, it just depends what you want to go for. For the planner ornaments, mainly for the first part of it, Space Sealing Station. This will provide an extra 12% attack boost. I'm going to keep this brief. Honestly, Tingyun can be slotted anywhere. She's incredibly flexible for all player styles out there, in my opinion. Just make sure you have a solid single target damage dealer so you can make the best of her support capabilities. Final thoughts. Tingyun, quote unquote, is the Genshin Impact Bennett version in HSR. She brings so much to the table. It doesn't really have a con, I'd say. On top of that, her aesthetics, I mean, just awesome. If you get her, level her as high as you can. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. But yeah, first HSR guide in the books. Have not uploaded, in a month. But honestly, the gacha scene had been dry for a bit. I have many more of these coming up, so stay tuned for that. Also, if you like, drop me a like or a dislike. I'm always open to constructive criticism. My name is Rad. You are all awesome. See you later.